the updated Polo GTI. Okay, let's kick off with the price, okay, because that's the main sort of topic of conversation. I probably also should have got my seating position right before I drove this. Not that someone else drove it before me. So 490,000 Rand is standard. Are you f***ing crazy? Like pricing, I understand, like all cars are priced crazy amounts at the moment, and I've spoken about it before, and we keep speaking about it, but it is quite a pill to swallow to think that you're paying 500,000 Rand for a Polo GTI, regardless, whatever. That's standard, okay? This car has quite a few extras, like sunroof or whatever. Like if you want even the rear view camera, the 18-inch alloys, not 17-inch. It's got a whole bunch of packages, I think, as well, like a comfort package and whatever, the leather seats and all that jazz. So you're racking up quite a bill for what for me is not enough car for what you're going to be paying. Now, I'm going to put my petrol head hat on, okay? Don't worry, you know, I'm a very objective motoring journalist, obviously. So if you look at what's new or what's updated, this is the updated version or whatever, you know, there's a few tweaks here and there and whatever. They've tweaked the suspension to make it a bit more sporty. It's sort of got more agile handling. But the engine and power outputs or performance figures are exactly the same. So the overseas Polo GTI has a bit more power. We've got the same. It's 147 kilowatts, you've got 320 Newton meters. So it's certainly fun, it's certainly quick, it's a very responsive car to drive, which is what you want, right? From a sort of hot hatch. And bearing in mind, when you look at the pricing and when you look at where it sits and everything, there are no longer any direct rivals. You can no longer get a Fiesta ST in South Africa, nor a Clio RS. Like, so what are you left with? Do you go Golf 8 GTI? It's almost double the price. So, also absurd. I have suggested to a number of people, if you want like fun, and that's what you're buying this for. So like, so I suggested the Suzuki Swift Sport, and a lot of people are like, you can't compare it, that's different or whatever. But I'm looking at something, if you are a bit of a petrol head and you want a driver enthusiast car and you want something that's gonna be a bit of fun, which is all this is, okay? It's not spacious. It doesn't really offer you anything else. Yes, it's a comfortable sort of day-to-day drive, so the Suzuki Swift Sport B, but it's quite a bit cheaper. And I can tell you, for me, probably as much fun to drive, because if that's what you're going for, you have to look at it like that. I find that petrol heads, like true petrol heads, get a little bit a bit of tunnel vision. There's no sort of edgeway, leeway, whatever, and I think you need to open your minds a little bit. Okay, let's just be a bit more inclusive here. So I love driving this car. I think, unfortunately, this version, I think the suspension is just too firm for what it is and for what you're driving. And it is going to be you're a Volkswagen fan. If you're driving a GTI, you want a car that's also comfortable. This isn't necessarily that. I find the ride just far too harsh. I mean, let's be honest. If you're a Volkswagen fan, you're still going to bloody love this car. I know it. I know it in my heart of hearts, because I'm also a VW fan. What have we got here? Hey, but and the sky is grey. I went for a walk on a winter's day. So, I mean, look, there is no denying that it is bloody fun, but what it's missing is any sort of oral pleasure. Okay, there's no, you know, none of that. It is just, it sounds like, look here, I don't think that you would know necessarily that you were driving a Polo GTI by sound alone. You would never, I don't think you'd be able to tell really. The pool you would tell by, but that's, again, it's like something that's missing for me. If you're spending this much money on a car that's sort of not necessarily practical and or giving you anything else but what should give you that cool like tummy feeling, which is what I like to call hot hatches or any sort of performance cars, you know, tummy feelers, then I want a bit more. I want to have the sound. I want people to know that I'm driving a Polo GTI, because the badges sure tell you in the inside. I mean, I do love this interior. I think it looks beautiful with this. You pay extra again for everything, but it's beautiful. But again, now you drive past someone, they don't know you know GTI, because they can't hear that you are. I want people to know if I'm spending this much money, they must know how much money I bloody well spent. But anyways, overall, I would not recommend this as like a top sale for me, just in terms of pricing. If I take price out of it, you're gonna have a door driving it. But that little price will be sitting at the back of your mind, I'm sure. Okay, but I feel like I've spoken too much about the price, so let's forget about that for now. Just overall, a fantastically fun car to drive. You can turn it into corners, get your bum out a little bit. There's a little bit of wheel spin when you put your foot down, which makes it quite exciting, a little bit fun. Is it the best in its segment? Who knows? There's no one else in the segment. If there were, who knows? Who knows? Well, I do know, but I'm not going to say. Not fair. I passed along the way. Well, I got down on my knees. I began to pray. You're the preacher, I'm the preacher. Do you think some songs should just rather be left alone? You know, to sort of be what they were? I feel like that about some cars. Oh, I don't like it.